Have you been tracking your net worth? How exactly do you track your net worth? Hi everyone, my name is Jackie. We are enjoying life's journey. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about our net worth progress report, our net worth update. So basically your net worth is all of your assets minus all of your liabilities, and that equals your net worth. So what does that actually mean, right? So if you have a house, you pay a mortgage on it, right? So the house is the asset, the value of the house is the asset, and that mortgage on the house is the liability, because that's taking money out of your bank account. So if you take your value of your house minus how much you owe on your mortgage, that's the equity in your home, or your positive, hopefully a positive net worth. Same thing with your vehicles. Your vehicle, the value of your vehicle minus your loan amount, the balance you still owe, is how much that vehicle is actually worth if you were to go sell it. If you have savings accounts, if you have investment accounts, those are assets. So you can mark those down into your net worth. There's also other things, other loans and everything else that you can keep track of, but I encourage you to go ahead and keep track of it. I keep track of it on just an Excel sheet. I didn't create a special template for you guys or anything like I do for my budget templates that I have on Etsy. However, you can easily just track it on a piece of paper as well. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the end of 2021 and see how things played out for the year. And we're going to kind of update our form a little bit so we can start tracking for 2022. So if you're interested in that, let's jump on the Excel sheet. Like I mentioned, I just do a very basic tracking within Excel. So I just have on here the net worth. I have all of our different things that we're calculating, and then I have the previous years that I started tracking this. So I started using a form here on Excel in basically February of 2020. So it's something I've only been using for a few years now, but I like being able to kind of log on here and take a glance at what's going on. The first thing I keep track of is the home. Now, I just look on Zillow and I update that home value based off of Zillow unless I've had an official appraisal done. So you'll see here I put appraisal in June of 2021, and that's bold down in my tracking because that was an official appraisal for that property. And then I went back to just using Zillow throughout the time. So to take a look at before, basically we started the year, our home value at the end of 2020 was about $200,000, and now at the end of 2021 we're at $281,000. So we've gained quite a bit of value, $81,000 worth of value in the home, which is awesome, but it can also crash later on. So we'll see what happens, right? The other thing you're going to notice is the home debt, so having that mortgage. So at the end of 2020, we were still paying on our original loan. We purchased the house for $165,000. We financed about $160,000, and we had it down. We had paid off it. We paid everything down to about $155,000. However, in June, when we got the appraisal, we refinanced and we took cash out. So then the new loan was $193,000. So you're going to see this in the red that shows we had the next to the home appraisal, right? So then we started making our monthly payments. So now we currently owe $189,000 on our mortgage. But if we take the value, the $281,000 minus the $189,000, we still have a positive equity within our home of currently about $92,000, right? So that's kind of how we ended out this year. So if you look at last year, 2020, we had about $44,000 worth of equity in the home. So we've doubled that equity. Again, this can change month to month. So that's why I like to keep track of it. Okay. The next thing we're keeping track of is our truck. So another big thing that happened in 2021 was we traded in my husband's older truck. So he had an older truck, he had a 2015, and we traded it in for a 2019, and we upgraded. So we went from a 4-cylinder to a 6-cylinder 4-wheel drive, a little bit bigger, beefier of a truck. So you're gonna see here with this red bold 15, this was the actual value, or this is how much we got for the trade-in. Now before that, I was just using the Kelley Blue Book value based on if we were to sell it privately. So these numbers were a little bit higher. Obviously, when we went to trade it in, we did not get the 18,000. However, we had purchased it for basically 20,000, so I wasn't expecting to get 18,000, but that's what we got, was the 15,000. So then the new truck, it's worth more like 40,000, and then we ended up financing. At the time, it was worth about 45,000. We financed about 40,000. We had a few months where we paid a lot of, like, about $650 extra on it, and then when the value dropped to about 40,000 within the Kelley Blue Book scheme of things, we continue to make our monthly payments. So we currently owe about 37,000 on the truck. So we only have a positive value, if you will, of about 2,900. So if we were to try to sell this or trade it in, we probably wouldn't get anything for it. But the goal is, now that Ricky has his basically his little dream truck, is to pay it off. But that's how we ended. So you'll see here, for compared to last year, we owe more, and our value has gone down from the year before when it comes to the truck. Now my car value, we actually ended up using part of the money from the cash out refinance to pay off my car. So you'll see here that I said we paid it off in 2021. So you're going to see at the beginning of the year, you know, I was just using Kelley Blue Book value, and then you can see where we owed 0 for half of the year because we paid it off in June, July. Also, you're going to see here we had a month where, according to Kelley Blue Book, the value of my car went up. This is very rare to see. Usually car values are just steadily going down, but we had a month where it went back up, and now it's actually worth a little bit more than it was at the beginning of the year. And the dealership keeps calling me to trade it in, but they don't have their accounts linked together. Otherwise they would know I've already paid it off. So why would I trade in almost a brand new paid off car? Not gonna happen. This is basically my dream car. It is a CHR 2019. I only have like 22,000 miles on it, so it's still pretty much brand new. This one I plan on keeping for a very, very long time and taking really good care of it. So I don't expect this to change anytime soon. But basically we have that value. If I really, really needed to sell this for some reason, I would have, you know, maybe $20,000 if we needed to. The next thing that we added this year, back in 2021, was a teardrop trailer. We put about 6,000 down and we financed about 10,000. So you'll see this is, you know, grayed out for the beginning of the year. We ended up purchasing that in, what month is that? September. It was worth about $13,900 was the price, and then with sales tax and all of that, title and all that, I think we purchased it for about $16,000. That's why we put about 6,000 down. And then again, basically I'm just keeping the value as is. I haven't gone on anything to estimate the difference in value for that yet. I'll have to figure out where I'm going to go to do that. And then we've just been making our monthly payments. So now basically, if we needed to sell it for some reason, we have about $3,300 worth of a positive equity, if you will, within the teardrop trailer. The goal is to pay this off as fast as possible within the next year or two, hopefully sooner. But basically for 2022, all of our trips are going to be done in the teardrop this year, just to really get it a good use. And we just have like a year warranty on it, so we want to use it as much as we can and get it back to the dealership if we need to for any of those things. Now, we originally were going to pay cash for this, or we were going to put about 10,000 down and only finance 6,000. However, none of the banks even wanted to finance less than 10,000. So we kind of just moved it around, and that's what we ended up doing. The next thing here is our savings. So our savings are basically all of our savings, our emergency fund, and our sinking fund. So you're going to see these numbers are constantly changing. They're going up and down, up and down, up and down, because as we put money in, that some of that money is earmarked to be spent on vacations or Christmas or home improvement projects. So when we took the money out for the refinance, we put a lot of that in for home improvements. So you're going to see here, we started the year off with a lower amount, and then you're going to see this big jump. We had about 22,000 in our savings account. Again, a lot of those were projects for the house. So as projects got done, you see this money start to go down. As we went on our vacation, you see this money go down, and then as we went Christmas shopping, you see the money go down. So we're ending the year out with a savings of $5,600. For those of you who watched my budget video, you can see January is looking like a really rough month without overtime, so we will most likely need to pull a little bit out of that savings. In addition, we're still pulling some of the cash out of the savings for our last home project that was supposed to be done at the end of 2021 that they're still behind on. But this number is slowly dwindling down, and then 2022 we will start to build it back up again. So this number is always going to be looking like that, but basically we ended the year with 5,000 in the bank. Ricky's 401k, we are actually doing we actually have 10% going in there now. We ended the year doing 9%, but now we're doing 10%. So this has steadily gone up in value. And then we did have a negative month, and then it's continued to go up. So as of the end of December, we had about 30,500 in my husband's 401k. So from last year, you can see that we're pretty much, kind of doubling our money in there on a yearly basis. Our goal, if you've watched my retirement goal video, I kind of showed how we planned out some of our retirement. Let me show that tab real quick for you guys. So I had mentioned right here, our original goal for the end of 2021 was to have, I think, 26 or 28,000 in the bank. And we actually had in our investments, we actually had 31,859. So I recalculated our goal for next year. So our goal by the end of 2022 is to have 48,000 within our investments. This includes what we're contributing on a monthly basis, and my husband gets a employer match in usually around May or June. Okay, so that's going to be the new goal, is to have about more than that. We'll combine, also including my stuff. So I have two Roth IRAs. I have one that I started when the pandemic hit, and I was purchasing cruise stocks through Vanguard, and then I have a Fidelity one from when I worked at Amazon. And I left Amazon. I converted my Roth 401k into a Roth IRA, and that one I'm just invested in a broad S&P 500, Vanguard S&P 500 growth on there. So basically, I've just been updating this when I get my quarterly statements, and so orange I just keep the same until I get a statement. So I started off with 406 in this one Roth, and I now have 654. The other one I had 200. I started off with 295, and now I have 348. My Robinhood account, I just have a few things. I was kind of investing in like some purposely dividend type stocks, and I haven't added anything to this for quite some time, but I started with 184 and now I have 231. And then more recently I started Bitcoin mining, so using my gaming laptop, I've been mining, and I have about $25 worth of Bitcoin currently. So we're ending 2021 with a positive net worth of $156,947.73. So we compare that to last year. Last year we ended out the year with 77,000. So we've pretty much doubled, or a little over doubled, our net worth within one calendar year. So we'll see if we can keep up with that momentum. It looks like pretty much every year we're close to doubling our net worth. So we'll see if we can continue that for the year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this cleaned up for tracking. So I've already, as you can see, I've already marked up here for that year, and I made this green because that overall was a positive year. You'll see here a month to month, we had pretty much every month was a positive month with the exception of September. But now I have all of our final numbers up here. So we're going to go ahead and delete out these numbers down here and change our dates for 2022. Okay, so I'm just going to literally the ones that don't have a formula in it. So that one I already have formulated, so I don't want to delete that one out. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in December's numbers were, and then I can update those later. So I'm going to delete the rest of these out. These we are going to make orange, because this is what we're working on. I'll just make all of them orange. We're going to make this orange. So I use orange to indicate that the number did not change from the year before. And then I use red, obviously, to show that it was a decrease in value or net worth, and then green to show it was a positive. Okay. This will obviously be lower because we just made our payment for the mortgage, so I'll have to see what that is. Let me take a look here. Amortization. So for January, 188,399.70. I think that's what it said. Like I said, we're gonna change this, and then we're going to delete these down. But yeah, I can get rid of the rest of these. And now we can do this. We can gray that out. And now these we're going to ungray. So I'm going to say no fill. And again, as the month happens, and these will be updated, so I'll come back. All right, so we have everything set up for the new year, right? So basically, we have our previous years up here at the top, so we can continue to keep track of that. And then we have now the rest of 2022 cleared up and ready to go. So January, we've pretty much just transferred the same numbers from December and put it orange, saying nothing changed. Obviously, we will update this towards the end of the month once we've made payments. So we've already made the mortgage payment for January, we've made the truck payment and the teardrop payment, so those numbers will need to be updated. Also, we will check the value on Zillow towards the end of the month to see if that's fluctuated up or down. We'll probably go ahead and take a look at Kelley Blue Book because it is a new year, so we'll see how the truck value has changed. And then I'm going to find a way on how to calculate the teardrop value. Maybe there's somewhere that I can look up that information. Obviously, like I mentioned, we're taking money out of savings to start paying for our final house project, so that number will need to be updated, and then we'll update any of the investments based on what we've added or the value fluctuating. From our progress from the last couple years within our net worth, we are steadily working our way up with that, so things are looking good. Yeah, so thanks for joining me for getting our net worth tracking set up for 2022 and taking a look at how we've done over the past 2 years. I hope this helps you going ahead and starting to track your net worth. Again, you can do it on a piece of paper, you can do it in Excel, you can do it on Google Docs, whatever you like to use, but I do encourage you to start tracking it. It is really encouraging to see your progress, but also if you have goals you're working towards, it helps you to kind of keep on track to accomplish those goals because you can see how it's working for you. But as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.